I'm Anne, co-host of Transparency in Teaching, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Ninth Grade Experience Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Dutchko. Ninth grade can be challenging. Let's experience it together. And we are here experiencing the ISTE 23 conference here from the Philadelphia Convention Center, about an hour south of Allentown. So in my hometown. So it's nice to be able to come back home for this conference. They usually have it all over the country. Next year, it's actually in Denver, Colorado. So it's a great opportunity this year to come down to the conference since it's local. You know, a 58-minute drive on Sunday morning, it was able to get down here. So it's nice to be able to be local. So this week, we've been going around and talking to different educators and students from all around the United States, and maybe some even international students as well too, trying to get their tech tips or best tips for incoming ninth grade students. So we're excited to be able to share those with you on today's episode. So we went through all the different halls and exhibits and all those different things here to be able to share those strategies with you on today's episode. It's been a real eye-opening experience being at this conference. There's about 20,000 educators that are here from all over the country and all over the world. So it is really interesting. You know, everyone's summer vacation. They chose to start spending it here in Philadelphia. So it's cool to see all these teachers here walking through all the exhibits and all the different things going on. Sharing knowledge and sharing all the different things that they're doing in classrooms and with students all throughout the country. We're also located right outside of the big exhibit hall. So they are definitely having, you know, all sorts of products for educators, for that students use. All the representatives are in there. So it's really interesting. They're giving away free stuff. They're, you know, giving away snacks and all these other things. So it's really interesting to see a big trade show like this. Every major marketer of educational products is in the exhibit hall, all having to do with technology. So smart boards, computers, phones, programs, you know, things like, you know, educational programs. It's you name it, they're here. So it's really interesting to see all of those things here in one spot. So it's kind of like a playground for educators and people that love educational technology here. So it's really been an eye-opening week here for me to kind of walk around and see all of it. So if you're new to the podcast, because you're seeing it on ISTE here, if you're new to the podcast, you can get all of our previous episodes at ninthgradeexperience.com. And if you go onto our website, you can search for different topics. So if you're looking for ninth grade academics, ninth grade athletics, if you're looking for mental health, wellness, you know, wellness information, we have those kinds of episodes as well too. We even talk to previous graduates. So we have them take a look back at the influence of their ninth grade experience. So we definitely try to touch lots of different topics here on the show as well. So lots of different things here. You can also check us out on social media as well too. So on TikTok at Ninth Grade Experience, on Instagram at Ninth Grade Experience. My Twitter is at Chris Stutchko. So that's my own Twitter, but we use that to publicize this show as well too. So lots of ways to interact with all the different content that we produce here on the Ninth Grade Experience. So this is a different kind of episode than what we normally do. So we went around, after we're done recording this, we're going to go around and try to find some more people in the education world to be able to provide us some more tips and strategies for ninth grade students as well. So we look forward to sharing all these. We've shared some of them on social media already, but to have them all in one place is pretty cool. So we're going to keep producing content for you all summer long, but this was an exciting way to kind of start it off here. And hopefully you enjoy hearing from educators from all over the country and possibly all over the world to be able to give you some tech information on how to master that ninth grade year. So thanks a lot. Enjoyed the show.
Hey there, this is Carl Hooker. I'm an educational consultant, former teacher, former administrator, coming to you from Austin, Texas. And my tech tip for ninth graders would be think before you post, but also use that opportunity when you post to actually create something magical, something that can help others. So whether it be a TikTok as your platform, whatever you're using to get your media and content out there, make sure it has some sort of impact. It's fun to look at cats singing on dancing on the internet, but you have an opportunity to use platforms today that we didn't have as students when I was growing up to really amplify your voice. So do that to your best ability.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Dene Poe, Spanish and STEAM teacher from Pittsburgh. And to give advice about technology to any students, what I would say is that you should embrace different types of technology. Don't be afraid to get involved in things like emerging technology, try new tools. Don't get so set on one type of technology that you're using, but also remember to find balance in your day and take a break as well. But with technology, there's lots of possibilities for learning and finding out that you have certain interests that you may not actually be aware of. One thing that comes to mind, coding, essential skill. So have fun learning, use technology responsibly, and keep making a difference in all that you do.
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Matthew X. Joseph from Boston, Massachusetts, and as a former principal and district innovation leader, my suggestion to you is continue to celebrate your creative journey. Try new tools like Flip, like AR, VR, like Padlet, like podcasting, but whatever you have envisioned for how you want to transfer learning, use the app, try it out, know there's going to be bumps in the road, but they're not going to slow you down. Be creative, take risks, and get your product out into the world.
All right, my name is Lauren Cisnansky. I am from Fishertown, Pennsylvania. I teach at Chestnut Ridge School District, and I work with high school students on musical theater. And my number one tech tip, I would say, is to use social media for good, promote your school in a good way, promote awesome activities that you're doing, and make sure you share the good things that high schoolers are doing in your community so people really know what's up.
Hi, I'm Gwen Moore. I'm from Aurora, Colorado, and for 8th graders going into 9th grade, the best tech tip I could offer you is to always be willing to learn. There are so many things out there that are going to be improving and getting better as you are getting older. Keep in mind, the worst tech you have is right now. It's only going to get better and easier to use. But the one thing you must remember is that reading is always going to be needed to learn how to use a new program, a new device. And those of you that are gamers, you know how much reading and writing with the chats and things are important. So be a learner, unlearn, relearn to be successful in high school and beyond.
Hey guys, my name is Jen Dawson. I'm an esports specialist with CDW. So my tip for you guys coming into freshman year, look and see if your school has an esports program. Because especially even if you're just like a casual gamer or maybe you're really good, well, join a team, because what's so awesome about being able to play at your school is you can compete with people all across the country, maybe even inside your school district. And then on top of that, there's $21 million a year right now for scholarships for esports. And that's not just for the players, it's also for your shoutcasters and everyone involved. So it's a really fun way to still get to play games, but you get to do it at school in a constructive way that might even get you on to college. So that would be my tip for you.
Hi, my name is Chris Aviles. I am a high school English teacher in New Jersey over at Keyport High School. I'm also the founder and president of Garden State Esports, which is a scholastic league for all of the schools in New Jersey. So for my freshmen, I'll give you some esports advice. Go out for a team, even if you're not good at the game, because you may make some new friends. And also don't forget that shoutcasting, graphic design, video editing, there's a lot of roles that you can fill for your esports team, even if it's not based on, a game that you play all the time. So put yourself out there, try something new, and make some new friends.
My name is Chris Ide. I am a coach for Trumbull High School in Trumbull, Connecticut for our high school Rocket League team. And my advice for incoming 9th graders would be to not wait until 9th grade starts to get involved. I can guarantee that your coach is already looking for the players coming up and is dying for you to get in touch with them. So take this opportunity to make that connection, possibly get connected with your other teammates. I know for our upcoming 9th graders, we are already running practices together and getting them meshed into the team so that when the season starts in the fall, we can hit the ground running.
My name is Paige Littlefield. I'm from the University of Oklahoma. My tip, if you want to be involved in esports in high school, is that really, when it comes down to it, esports is about teamwork. So to really hone those skills of teamwork and collaboration and be ready to do that.
Hi, I'm Danny Cowden, and I'm from Crosstown High in Memphis, Tennessee. And my tip for ninth graders is I'm going to actually quote one of our players, and that is, it doesn't matter how good you are when you walk in the door. You will only get better if you listen. And that's been something in our team. We don't look for someone who is a superstar already. We welcome everybody. We encourage anybody who wants to just play and have fun to show up. And then we go from there. If you have an open mind and you want to play with the team, you're going to have fun and learn.
Hi, my name is Dr. Laura McCusker from Lincoln Intermediate Unit 12 in South Central Pennsylvania. Best of luck. My best advice for you is to share your story. Find ways to get your voice out there, tell folks who you are, what you offer the world, and surround yourself with a tribe of people who love and accept you for who you are.
Hi, my name's Alexis Alberti. I teach at the New School in Atlanta, Georgia. And my tip is going to be yourself and find your tribe. There's somebody out there for everyone.
My name is Andre Simon. I'm from the New School in Atlanta, Georgia. And the tip I would have for ninth graders, either coming in or the current ninth graders, is to kind of get in a routine really, really quickly. You know, high school is a new place. It could be a lot going on. The quicker you could get into a routine in your classes, just in general, I think the better it will serve you in the end. So just kind of get in a routine with your homework, your classes, and have a balanced day. It's all about balance. All work and no play make Jack and Jill a dull, and all play and no work make them really silly. So just find a nice balance, and that would be my advice for you.
Hi, my name is Erin Cummings. I am from Chester County Intermediate Unit in Chester County, Pennsylvania. My tip for ninth graders would be to try everything, especially something like this is virtual reality. Always be looking for new things that you never thought that you might be interested in, whether it's a sport or a club or even just an activity to do outside of school. Definitely try to be involved.
My name's Lauren Young. I work for Beloved Community, a nonprofit racial and economic equity firm in New Orleans. And my tip would be to be really intentional about the type of technology that you use and how you use it. We're living in a time when we have access to so much around us, and it can start to become really overwhelming. So if you start really early on thinking about how technology fits into your life in and out of school, then you can really think about how it contributes to success, the life you want to live, and how happy you are.
My name's Anthony Iacobucci. I am a high school English teacher from Ohio, and my best tech tip for ninth graders would be probably to make sure that you are willing to step out and try to do your authentic writing. Like in English class, you can go online to kind of cut corners or see if you can find some resources there to where you're not really doing your own original writing. But it's really important, the teachers really want to see your original ideas and help you build your original writing skills. So my tech tip would be to just be original.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Howe. I'm an instructional technology coach in Pickerington Local School District. One tech tip that I have for ninth graders is we do a boot camp. And what happens in 8th grade is students prepare for ninth grade, and they just kind of work on different executive functioning skills such as like time management and prioritizing and creating those to-do lists, because really when you get into that freshman year, everything starts to matter, and that is one of the skills, is those executive functioning skills that you really need to have.
My name's Eric Geis. I'm co-host of Got Tech, the podcast. I'm from Philadelphia, right outside of Philadelphia. My best EdTech tip for you is to find your EdTech toolkit. That's those 5 tools that do certain things very well. Get familiar with them and embed that into your everyday learning program. Whatever your routine is, that's what you want to do. Stay simple, stay smart. 5 tools, that's all you need.
My name is Daniel Nemro. I'm an instructional technology coach from Gainesville, Virginia, which is about 45 minutes outside D.C. I work at a high school there. I'd say one of my number one tech tips of things that we talk to our ninth graders about when they get there that they don't seem to have ready is enough experience working in our school system's a Microsoft school division. So whether it's Google or Microsoft, knowing the gamut of tools, all the different things that you have available in either of those suites, I think is something that our students don't have. They know that Docs and Word is a thing, but there's a lot of other tools that exist in those that I think if students could start to explore before they got there, it would be great.
Hey everyone, Scott Nunes here, District Engagement Advocate with Canva, former classroom teacher turned tech coach, and now your Canva rep. And my tech tip for ninth graders, a little throwback for you, since I used to teach 9th and 10th grade, I would say do a technique I call by location. So you can use a screencast or screen record tool, something like Canva, to record the EDI portions of your lesson, and then you can play it for the students live. And what this allows you to do is to give formative feedback right on the spot instead of having to wait. And then for all those kiddos that miss or go to sporting events, you can just upload it to your LMS after, and they can catch that recording and see all of your notes and all of the things that they need to help out.
Hello, this is Eric Vielander. I'm a high school teacher out of Garden City, Kansas. I teach journalism and broadcasting, and the number one tech tip I would say for freshmen is to learn file directories. In the professional world, you're going to have to learn file directories. Come to my class ready.
Hi, good morning. I'm Giovanna Salas-Word from Abington, Pennsylvania. And some of the great strategies that I find with ninth grade students would be anything that would enable them to share regarding their social, emotional well-being, maybe even like a Flipgrid, or you can do something like a Pear Deck where they give their own responses to whatever ways they're feeling. Also, you can do scavenger hunts so that they can get familiar with the school, and that kind of thing.
All right, well, my name is Karima Chandler, and I teach at the Charter School of Wilmington, Delaware. I teach ninth grade. I think one tech tip for rising freshmen includes being able to navigate the Google suites. Something as easy as navigating the Google Docs and being able to know where the share button is, right, in the upper top right hand corner, right, so that you can share with peers, share with your teachers, make a copy. Mm-hmm.
I'm Ariana Seamarcone, and I also teach at the Charter School of Wilmington. I have taught freshmen before, but I currently teach sophomores. And I would agree, I think, for teachers in that same vein, navigating Google Suites so that you can create almost like HyperDocs or master slides or something that streamlines what the kids need to sort of click through, because every class for the freshmen is going to be overwhelming. They suddenly have lots of teachers and homework, and everyone's going to say, here's your online textbook, and here's where I want you to do your work, and X, Y, and Z. So being able to streamline that for them in some way where they just have to go to one place and click in and out of that place for whatever they need will make their lives easier and yours, because then they can't use the excuse of I couldn't find it.
Hi, my name is Nikki Acevedo, and I live in Chicago, Illinois. I work for a company called Vivacity Tech. They are a Chromebook reseller and manufacturer. I create curriculum. The curriculum is called Student Repair Academy, so here is my tip or trick for you. If you are interested in opening up a Chromebook and trying to figure out what's wrong with it, there is a job out there for you. It is called computer science, so go online, check it out, and see if that's something that you'd be interested in pursuing. Thanks!
Okay, I'm Brandon Main. I'm from Milwaukee Public School System, Bayview High School. My tip for ninth graders coming in or existing ninth graders would just be have fun, meet new people, and really, get connections with your teachers. You gotta have fun with them because they'll give you all the extra credit and all that fun stuff too.
Hi, I'm Carrie Parrish. I teach outside of, in a small suburban high school outside of Chicago. I have two best tips for incoming freshmen or ninth graders. Number one, make sure that you eat some kind of breakfast before school. Our school starts super early, so make sure that you eat breakfast or pack a snack in your bag. It's like a chill thing to do at school, to eat a snack, I promise. And then my second tip that's actually a tech tip and not a food tip is make sure that you're keeping track of your assignments in some kind of calendar. I know your school probably uses an LMS. If that's not your game, you can go in and you can use old school paper. I still have kids who are using old school paper, but don't think you can remember it, because by third hour there's never a way that you're going to remember what happened first hour. So keep track of your assignments. Don't count on your LMS unless that's something that's going to work for you. But really try a couple different things and then you'll be situated for high school.
Hi, my name is Kirthi. Hi, I'm Ria. And we're from Wilton, Connecticut. And today we're here presenting at ISTE.
We are the founders of Team STEAM.
And we are graduated former high school students. And so a tech tip that I would like to share with everybody is I love using Google Keep. It's super helpful for me to keep all my to-do, homework, reminders. It really syncs well with your Google Calendar, so that's a tip of mine.
I think a tip that I would give is, I think probably along the same lines, is using reminders. I use the reminders app on my phone, and just to keep track of everything I have to do. I think with college, with standardized testing, with extracurricular sports, handling homework, it can get a little overwhelming, and being able to keep track of all of it in a very easy, simple way is very helpful.
Hi, I'm Simone Sibley. I'm a recent graduate from Brandywine Heights High School, and my best tech tip for ninth grade students is to try things that interest you. Try things that look cool. You know, you might look at computer science and go, oh, that's not for me. But how do you know? It might be the most amazing thing you've ever tried and you have no idea yet. There are so many things you can do with it. If you're more into arts, if you're more into coding, there's something for everybody. Just try. That's my best tip. Just try. Try new things. If you don't like it, that's okay.
Hi, my name is Jake Deischer, and I just graduated from Brandywine Heights. And my tech tip for you guys is, if your school has a new computer science class, take it. See where it takes you. I took my first class in 9th grade, and I've taken a class every year since I graduated.
Hi, I'm Ana Camila Lopez Hongritud from the Cumbres Cancun, all the way in Cancun. I'm here in Philadelphia to present our human genotype project, and I'm from 9th grade. So a tip I would give to all 9th graders coming or going is that trust in your teammates. Have a lot of teamwork in your group. It's really fun going together and sharing knowledge. And to always be positive, even if something looks great. If you try to work over it and get help from teachers or another graders, it could be really fun and you can see a positive outcome.
My name is Mariela Casteleiro Cavazos. I'm from Mexico City, Highlands International School, and my advice or my tip I would give to 9th grader students that are coming, that probably you keep your minds open and be prepared, because it's going to be a hard year, but you could make a lot of friends. I met my best friends there, and I think it's a great year because you start being like so mature, but you also have that kind of fun in the year, and if you keep your minds open, you can learn a lot of things in the school, but also learn how to be a great people and how to make the world like better.
My name is Camila Lani Zamora Garcia Castells. I'm from Mexico, of Highlands International School. I think that I say to these students that take your mind and open to more ideas, more different things.
Hello, I'm Matara Goldstein, and I'm from Bergen County, New Jersey, and I go to a private Jewish school has dual studies. Some tips I have for ninth graders is definitely don't procrastinate. That was my biggest struggle this year, and tech definitely provided enough distractions for me. It was probably the biggest struggle I had because I probably could have learned much more if I had stayed off my device and had focused really on what I was learning and fully really synced into it. I definitely also really recommend making shorter time blocks to study, and then just giving yourself breaks. That's really important. It really helps, and it just make sure you pace yourself. That way you can really get all the studying you need. Also, going to sleep early, didn't do it, but I recommend it. When I did it, it felt great. And I wake up quite early, so it was kind of rough those few days that I would have a bad sleep schedule. And you always need that weekend to reset. Really take the time for yourself. I know it's really enjoyable to go hang out with friends, but sometimes you just need to be at home and you gotta rest.
My name's Ari Katz from Teaneck, New Jersey. I go to the Frisch School, which is in Paramus, and my one tip for ninth graders is, especially over the course of the year, and definitely once you get to final time, you want to make sure to utilize the Amoeba Sisters to help you study for biology. They're very good. They make comprehensive videos, short videos that are animated. They're like cartoons. They make them, these two sisters, they make them on all the units in biology. I used it. That was my primary studying for last year, my bio final. I did pretty good. So that was my ninth grade tip. I highly recommend to someone who passed ninth grade that you should definitely take a look at the Amoeba Sisters to help you out with biology.
So here I was getting ready to record my outro to the podcast here, and two students came up and they were looking at seeing what we're doing here, and they were super curious about what was going on. So they decided to pull up, and when they're here, they want to talk to us, and they're here from Stanford University as sophomores there, and they want to kind of give us a little bit of insight on their ninth grade experience and kind of what they're doing here at the ISTE conference. To be honest with you, we just had a really great conversation for about 7 minutes, and I forgot to hit record on the thing. So I wish we could share with you. I wish you could have heard the beginning part of our conversation, but hey, these are the things that happen when you're trying to do things live. So I'm here with Shaurya and Joseph, who are both from Stanford, and they're both foreign students here in the United States, and they're studying artificial intelligence. So guys, why don't you just give a little bit of the rundown now of who you are?
Sure. I'm Joseph. I'm an international student from Australia, and I'm studying computer science and AI, and I'm part of a research lab here at Stanford. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here at ISTE, this teacher conference. We care a lot about education, and I think it's a very exciting time right now for AI and education. I think we believe to some degree that there is an inflection point, and we are blessed with technology that could potentially move us in a direction of what we see as the gold standard of education. And we're looking at how we can potentially push that needle forward this summer. So super excited to be here, and grade 9 is a great time to be. And we, as you said, we talked a lot about it before, and happy to get into it now.
Yeah. My name is Shaurya. I'm also a sophomore at Stanford. We're actually thinking of potentially building solutions for grade 9. So this is actually a very interesting audience. I'm from New Delhi in India, far away from home. Also super passionate about education, something that's been really meaningful to me, my family, for probably generations. So being able to step foot into a classroom at Stanford and really explore what education can do for the trajectory of your life has really shown me a lot.
So we were talking earlier about, your ninth grade experiences, but kind of a little bit different than here from our normal ninth grade here in the United States. So real quick, if you want to just recap, so ninth grade, pivotal year, you both identified that as a pivotal year for deciding what you were going to do. So can you just kind of give a brief recap of your ninth grade year and kind of what that was like?
Sure. Super quick recap. In ninth grade in my school in Australia, it's called pre-senior year. So it's this transitionary period from kind of the junior years to senior school. And senior school is kind of the years when you really have to buckle down and really hone in on what you want. Grade 9 is a bit more exploratory. It's okay, let's think about it. A really good moment for this is we have kind of travel programs that is compulsory. You have to spend 2 weeks actually traveling out of state, out of the country if you can. And I went on the Ivy League tour, which was when the seed was actually planted. It's not that big of a thing in Australia to go overseas, but that was the moment when I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could see myself doing this, but I never really committed until senior year. But yeah, that was my grade 9 experience.
Yeah, and for me, I think ninth grade was the word really is ascension. You're not an 8th grader anymore. You're not a middle schooler anymore. And you're really beginning to take these steps towards the future of your education at a college level. And I think for me, the words that really defined it were exploration, really like looking at what are the things I explored in the past and in ninth grade as well. For me, that was filmmaking and entrepreneurship, and then focus, really devoting the hours to make sure that I can excel in that, so that I could, reach the stage that I wanted to reach. And that was kind of like my experience.
So it's, you both share different experiences, but it's really interesting, like being outside of the United States. You have these ninth grade experiences. You kind of talked about wanting to come to the United States. Was it always the goal? I know you said you went on the Ivy League tour. Now Stanford is not technically an Ivy, but I'm sure they consider it the Ivy of the West Coast. But like winding up at a place like Stanford, we always talk about the importance of doing well in your ninth grade year. So what was that like for you guys, like in that ninth grade year of like really honing in on what you needed to do?
Yeah, it is not a cultural thing back home. Again, like it's very different here where, you almost grow up with college in mind. Back home, college isn't very competitive. And if anything, there are only a few colleges you can really apply to. But I guess for me, I knew by grade 9 that I liked coding and I liked building. I loved just creating things on the side. I had like a YouTube channel on the side. I would animate. I would just hack around all the time. And unfortunately, I think computer science isn't the most, well respected or perhaps the most, interesting career back home, especially in university. And I think the place that really pushes you in that realm in the world is the US. And I think I chose to go on that Ivy League tour as a way to say, hey, this is a seed that I want to plant. And honestly, I came out of that experience being like, okay, I might want to do this. But then again, like because of the culture, like I didn't end up committing to it in the next few years. But grade 12, I was like, I'm going to do this. But yeah, grade 9 for me was that exploratory period and really identifying, for me, do I want to go overseas? Do I want to stay home? Do I want to keep going with computer science or maybe switch to another career? But yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, like I can touch on a slightly different aspect of grade 9, which is like, the pressure of the academics. Because I feel like grade 9 was the first year I felt that the stakes were high. I felt that the results I achieved inside the classroom had a direct impact on my ability to succeed and go to a college of my dreams. Except what I very quickly realized was you only need to hit a certain threshold. I think for me in grade 9 and over high school, what I ended up realizing is you need to get, in a certain range. And then how can you redirect and refocus all of your energies towards something that will actually help you stand out? Because the unfortunate reality is, especially if you're coming from India, these kids are smart. These kids are getting the 35s on the ACTs. They're getting the 1570s on the SATs. They might even go ahead and take APs. They're going to be top of their class. You are not going to stand out from them just by getting the good grades. And I think realizing that and putting in just enough effort to be in, a certain percentage of your cohort, but then focusing on your growth as a human being. What are you curious about? What do you care about? And can you start like leveling up in that direction? I think that was the game changer.
So as sophomores here at Stanford, you're here studying artificial intelligence and education. So we only have you for a minute or two more here. So before you go, can you kind of tell us like what is the focus of like what you're doing here to kind of learn, like you're, still in college, maybe not necessarily going into teaching, but here you are like at this tech conference for teachers and educators, kind of getting ready to implement something that, may change the world.
Definitely. I think what we really care about is how can we use AI to help students and help teachers. I think that's the main goal. We're not fighting against it. We're using it in a more collaborative sense. Really explicitly, you're a ninth grader and you have ChatGPT. You have this insane ability to draw on information from across the world. And teachers are trying to call that cheating right now. And they think it's a problem, but we think what it's really doing is putting a front seat on the fact that you have a new way to access information, but can you still understand what you're creating? When you submit that essay for a history class, do you understand the essay that you made? We don't care how you got there, but you understand it. And we think that the new way to try and explain your understanding of something is through a conversation. So we want to try and scale and introduce the oral assessment and oral evaluations into classrooms where students can have this opportunity to give their essay and then have a 10-minute conversation about that essay with a virtual aid in an attempt to demonstrate that understanding in a way we think is more reliable. And honestly, if you're a ninth grader now, we'll set you up for success in the future. No, hop in.
Oh, I was just going to add that I guess tangibly what we're building is we're building an AI conversational agent that you can directly interact with and engage with and explain your thinking. You finish an assignment and say, okay, like, can you actually explain what you're saying? And it asks you questions about the nuances of your argument, or why did you say this? Why did you say that? And it's not just for essays, but you can do it for coding assignments and various different assessments, and really giving teachers the power to understand what students really know, what they don't know, and also helping students really engage with their material in ways that are more enjoyable, and it feels like you're working with the student as opposed to against the student. I think that's the issue with a lot of evaluation. But yeah, we're here to kind of pilot it and kind of need find and to see what teachers think of it. But yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Is there a specific group I think you guys were heading into the big hall over here, the exhibit hall. Is there a specific company or group you're working with?
Oh, well, we actually incubated this idea in the lab itself. So we've been working for the last 10-15 weeks with professors and in the research world. But as we all know, research is very different to the real world, and actually pushing it into the hands of teachers and schools. And so that's what the intent is today. Could we bring an idea that we incubated in the lab and really drive adoption with real world institutions?
Exactly.
It's really cool. And I know you guys have to run, so I don't want to hold you up, but thanks a lot for looking over and looking like, whoa, that's really cool, coming onto the podcast. And B, we're really excited that students like you are going to introduce all these cool new things into education. As teachers, we've been doing this. Some of us have been doing it a while. So we're always looking for new cool stuff. So we're excited to see where you take this. And who knows, maybe one day we'll look back and you guys will be on this, and you'll be out there with the cool booth and the multi-million-dollar idea, and you can remember that you started here first. So Shaurya and Joseph, thanks a lot for joining us, and we appreciate you stopping by, literally stopping by. Welcome back. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
So if you liked today's episode, please tell a friend, either through social media, recommend the podcast. We're always looking for different guests as well too. So on our website, there's a contact form that you can let us know if there's somebody out there in the world of education that's doing awesome things for ninth graders. That'd be great too. So again, everything that you need for the podcast is available on ninthgradeexperience.com. And the best way to grow it and help us grow is to tell somebody about it. So please help us out and do that as well. So we thanks a lot for tuning in for today's episode.